What is your least favorite thing about being a tattoo artist? When someone calls and they find out that I'm booked out for over a year and they try to get you to do it anyway. It's just a small piece. It's only going to take you 30 minutes. It's only going to take you 5 minutes. It's like, can't you just stay late? That right there will make me never tattoo that person. Don't be inconsiderate. Don't be an asshole. It's pretty simple. Respect people and respect their time and respect the craft. I don't care if I'm gonna tattoo a dot on you. The paperwork alone, the setup, the cleanup, the what, you know, all of the process, that's not 5 minutes. That is a minimum of 30 minutes right there. Usually, I mean, I'd say more realistically, it's an hour, you know, if you include, you know, all those things that I just said. And if you, you know, if you're gonna tell somebody how long a tattoo is gonna take, that's just disrespectful to the craft, period. So I'd say that's probably my least favorite is, you know, people that are just, in our shop, we call them verrucas. I want it and I want it now. What can I expect to make when I start out as a brand new tattoo artist, and how much could I be making once I've been working for 10 plus years? So that is a really loaded question right there. It's going to depend where you're at geographically. It's going to depend on the type of town, city that you're in. It's going to depend on the reputation of the shop. And it's going to depend on your reputation and your drive and your hustle. So when I started out, I mean, and this is after my apprenticeship was complete, I was working extremely long days, extremely late nights. I was working probably 12 to 15 hour days at a minimum. And you know, and that was just tattooing time. So you include setup and cleanup and all of that as well, especially when you're still in those early stages, as that still kind of apprentice status. You're the last one to leave. You wait till everybody's done and then you get to clean the shop. So, and usually you're the first one there. That kind of gives you an idea, you know, you've got to have a drive, you've got to have a hustle. Starting out, gosh, you know, you go through a willing victims stage, which you just get tips for. And then once you start to get paid, I mean, some people it's by the piece and others it's by the hour. Mine started around 50 bucks an hour. The shop took 40% and I took 60% home. So if that gives you a little bit of an idea. That is tattooing time only, so that's not your drawing time, that is not your setup and cleanup time, that is, you know, that doesn't include any of that. You know, at this point I make 125 an hour. Again, that doesn't include setup, cleanup, drawing, all that. So it just depends. I have gone to artists that charge $250 an hour with a $500 deposit. There's some artists that charge drawing fee. There's some that do not. I do charge a drawing fee now. So there's also kind of that as well. I still am a 60-40 split. So, you know, it just kind of depends on your schedule, depends on your hours, depends on your clientele. I know artists that make, you know, their take home is $100,000 a year. I know artists that their take home is $500,000 a year. I know artists that their take home is $20,000 a year. So it's a pretty big range. What you put in is what you're going to get out of it. If you take your craft seriously, if you treat people with respect, if you're on top of your booking, on top of your drawings, and you're constantly improving, you're doing your social media posts every day, you're sharing your work, you're proud of it, you're, you know, doing all these extra things, you know, I'd say that in a place like Traverse City, doing all those things, you're working hard, you know, you'll probably take home 80 to 150,000 a year. But that is going to be, you know, that's more of the 10 plus years. What are some benefits of being a tattoo artist? Let's start with a personal benefit, such as helping others, feeling good about your job, your commute, your hours. Helping others, feeling good about your job is awesome. I love it. I love my connection with other humans. I love my one-on-one time with people. You know, I've developed some very strong bonds with clients that have become not only very close friends, but they've become family. That is, you know, a huge benefit of the job. Feeling good about my job, you know, kind of goes hand in hand with that. I feel great about my job. You know, are there days where I feel down? Absolutely. You know, I could have done a tattoo better. I could have, you know, things happen. You know, you get kind of in this lull. Just in general as an artist, you know, you're kind of hitting that wall. You know, you start to see all the bad things, you know, in a piece, and you know that can kind of get you. But overall, if you're really putting in the work and you took the time you needed to do the best tattoo that you can do, at the end of the day, you should be happy with yourself. You should be proud of yourself. A client should be proud to be wearing that piece, you know. Commute hours, etc. You know, at this point in my life, my commute is beautiful. The shop that we open is on the same property as our house, so it's a great commute. Before that, some of the shops I've been at, they were still, you know, it was a great commute. When I started out, I wouldn't say they were fun, you know, but I'm a hard worker. I've always worked multiple jobs at a time. I do not take days off. I used to work every holiday. I worked hard. And I would say that was probably the first like 10 years of my career. I'm at 15 now, and it's different. I do take holidays off, but now I'm a shop owner, so I take days off from clients, from working on clients. I do not get to take days off from bookkeeping, from drawing, from all the ins and outs of the sustainable and well-reputable shop. So take that into consideration as well. But like client hours, you know, they're good. You know, I make my own schedule, you know, at this point. The industry is very different now. You know, you're not relying on walk-ins to come through that door or that phone to ring. If you are a good artist, people are seeking you out. They are traveling to you. I have people that drive hours to come to me. I have people that fly to me. So once you reach that level in your career, you know, the ball is in your court, really, as far as that. So benefits such as health, dental, disability insurance, wellness programs, flex spending accounts, etc. non-existent in this industry. You make your own retirement. So, you know, I mean, what I have always done is I've always taken out a minimum of 30% of every check that I get. Absolute minimum. It's wise to take out more like 50% of what you make, because the government is going to be taking a good portion of your tax, you know, of your money, taxes at the end of the year. You pay at tax time. You do not get money back. You know, in most tattoo parlors, you're given a 1099, so you are an independent contractor. As far as like insurance and stuff, you pay. You know, you can check out different, you know, companies each year to try and get a better rate and stuff, but that's, yeah, none of that is covered in this industry. Dental, same thing. Disability, same thing. You know, I highly recommend, you know, just getting your own plan. Like spending accounts, non-existent. Wellness program, non-existent. You know, put money aside, save every little bit you can, you know. One thing, you know, with tattooing is, you know, the life of a tattooer is not that long, not as full-time. Once things start to go, such as your back, your neck, your hands, your wrists, your vision, that's when you have to start to slow down. And there's a point where, you know, I mean, if you start messing up tattoos, you know, there's a point where you need to know when to quit. So, you know, you definitely want to take all that into consideration. So, you know, early on, when you can work all those extra hours and you're banking that money, save that money, invest that money, you know, get yourself, you know, insurance, you know, things like that. And then there's, you know, on top of that, there's, you know, insurance as far as just work insurance, you know, so keep that in mind as well. As a tattoo artist, usually, and it's going to be different, you know, from state to state, you know, things like that, but, you know, usually it's looked at as like a doctor's insurance. Okay, so you usually pay quite a bit for insurance as a tattoo artist. So last question here is, you know, is there anything else you think I should know about being a tattoo artist? You know, there's a lot to it. It is a great career if you take it seriously, and if you take the health portion seriously and you are on top of everything that you need to be for the health department. If you take cross-contamination seriously, if you take your continued education seriously, you're putting all that you can into it, and you're taking the steps necessary to continue to improve as an artist, then you're gonna have a good career. You're gonna have or you should have. I mean, again, it could depend where you're at, but you know, you should have a decent income if you're taking the necessary steps to save money and have a retirement plan when you're young, when you can work more. If you're setting aside money out of every check, and if you, like I said, if 30% doesn't exist, then you're just putting all that into a savings account or whatever. Tax time comes, it's not going to be a big, you know, it's not going to be a heart attack for you, none of that, you know. And then if there's any money left over, you know, put that into retirement, max out, you know, get at least a 401k, if not a SEP account. Max it out every year, you know. Set yourself up for success, and take the career seriously. You know, it is a good career, it is a fun career. If you're in a reputable shop with a solid little dream team, you're gonna have a great time. 95% of the time, you're going to be looking forward to coming into work, you know? So, I hope that answers all your questions, and let me know if there's anything else that I can do to answer any questions or be of assistance. All right, you have a good one.